Atomos released firmware 10.65 in the last couple of days. I say in the last couple of days because it was announced that it would be released in May. It was 11:30 on May 31st and I did not see it online. I woke up the next morning, June 1st, and I finally saw it. So not sure exactly at what time it was released. And along with that came the ability for you to purchase h265 Codec from Atomos for $99. The following information I'm about to give you is based on 4K 30p, but I'm not going to step further than that and give you actual frame sizes. So the quality of video is great. The compression is great. Codec manipulation is great. The acquisition options are 8-bit, 10-bit, 420, 422. All those options are available. Is it worth $99? I would say so. I took some notes on the file sizes here, and Atomos made a real nice improvement on what it can do. So here they are, so you guys can make your own judgment upon whether this is worth it for you or not. I mean, I think it's worth it for myself. So I took some notes on what Atomos is releasing, and H265 will give you 3 options when capturing, plus additional things that you can do within that. But the major 3 options are the fact that you can capture in LQ, low quality, MQ, medium quality, and HQ, high quality. All 3 options have the ability for you to capture that in 8-bit and 10-bit, like I said, and 422 and 420. But the file sizes per second are in LQ 4 megabytes, medium Q it would be 10 megabytes, HQ 37 megabytes, ProRes will give you 100 megabytes, and ProRes RAW will give you 150 megabytes per second. Now, it all depends on what it is on your scene that will determine those file sizes. If it does need higher dynamic range, it will require more space. Thus far, I can tell you that the compression ratios are very nice. It's about 37% based on ProRes files, which are 100 megabytes. So if you narrow it down to only frame sizes, the frame size of LQ is 133 kilobytes. I'm not even talking a megabyte, kilobytes. So 133 kilobytes for low quality. Medium quality will be 333 kilobytes, and high quality will be 1.2 megabytes. So HQ will give you 1.2 megabytes, whereas ProRes will give you 3.3 megabytes, and ProRes RAW will be 5 megabytes. So the difference is quite vast, and the compression is there for you to use. Based on the white paper, and if you read it correctly, you'll see that it is being advertised that low quality is 30 megabits per second. Medium quality is being advertised as being 150 megabits per second, and high quality is being advertised as being 350 megabits per second. Now, they make it seem like it's 350 megabytes, but it's not. When you do the math, it's roughly about 48 megabytes per second. The best option for you right now would be H265 HQ, and that's because Atomos has made that an all-Entra codec, which means it would be a lot easier for you to render, a lot easier for you to work in Premiere, Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve, whatever it may be. It would be a lot easier for you to edit that file. Now, it doesn't mean that it will be headache free, because regardless, it's still a compressed file, and thus it will take a lot from your computer for it to render and for you to work with. Based on that information, I can tell you that if you want to see the files as you're recording them, they will not play in Windows. They will not really play in Mac at all, unless it's the lowest quality version. The lowest quality version will play on your computer without a problem chasing in the native player. But if you want to see medium quality or high quality, you'll need an NLE to view those files. Otherwise, it does not work. So make note of that so you don't think that you'll be able to see those files right away as soon as you get them to your computer. Also, if you want to play those files on your Ninja, you have to make sure that it's still in H265 format within the screen, because otherwise, if it's flipping back and forth between ProRes, ProRes RAW, or any of the other files, it will have to restart. I'm not even sure how you will be able to distinguish the files, because there's no variation in extension, there's no variation in file naming or anything like that. So playing those files back, if you're in a different format within the Ninja, is kind of complicated, and trying to remember which file names you gave to those files when you're taking that to your computer is still a pain as well. So that's the only issue I have with this format, is the naming sequence, the naming files, the naming formats. The fact that you cannot customize the name here is an issue because it's not just about switching one letter and saying this is for that, this is for this. It's about being more direct and getting the file naming that you want onto the file. So that's the issue, not knowing what files what when you're viewing them on your Ninja or on your computer. So how do you purchase the H265 codec for the Ninja? It's actually not as easy as you think. First off, then this is the one big thing that you need to do before you do so. You need to have registered your Ninja with Atomos on the website. If you want to do it with your phone, you can do so or whatnot. But you need to insert that AID number. Without the AID number, you're not able to see the features, the upgrades that are available for your Ninja. So before you try to do anything, make sure that you have registered your Ninja. Then if so, then the option for you to acquire this codec will be available to you. It's $99, it happens real fast, and then you need to download that token so you can install it onto your Ninja. That token will activate HVEC265. So firmware 1065 is the key here. Without it, you will not be able to see the new acquired codec onto your Ninja. So people that are running the Nikon system, whether it be DSLR or mirrorless, will benefit from this codec. And that's because most Nikon systems are limited to 30-minute capturing time. With this new codec, you're able to go beyond that, beyond the 30 minutes and capture even longer or endlessly until your battery runs out. But most of the files are only limited to 12 minutes or 12 and a half minutes from what I've seen, and then it cuts and then continuous recording. Doesn't mean that there's a break. There is no break. They just keep on cutting every 12 to 12 and a half minutes or so. And I noticed that yesterday. So if you're recording longer, you'll get a lot of small files, which is great, but then you just need to stitch them together. It's not that complicated to just, just back them up right next to each other. So the files break every 12 and a half minutes or so. So just remember that. The other thing is that the colors are just about the same whether you capture in HVEC265 or ProRes 422, that is. For scenes like this, where it's just like monologue style for YouTube, it might be just perfect as well. But if you really want the best codec for you to work in your NLE, I still recommend for you to stick around with ProRes or ProRes RAW. I'm not saying that this is a replacement, but it's a real good option if you want to have smaller files. Just remember that you'll need to render your timeline or you'll need to create proxies for these files. Working with them is not going to be easy, but the file sizes are worth it. So based on that, you make your own decisions. Take it with a grain of salt with everything I've said. But for those people that cannot record an all intra file onto their camera system internally, then I would recommend this codec for them. So with that, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.